It's up to you, New York, New York.
All right. How we doing? Happy Friday. It's the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast here on YouTube. I'm still in Facebook jail. With me, we got my main man, Idris Salam, a.k.a. Bosco from the Bronx, my co-host.
Yeah.
And we also have a guy who hasn't been here in a while, but he's usually always repping, always in the comments. But because of the big series going down to reopen the second half of the baseball season, my man, Mr. Daniel Nunez, diehard Dodger fan, and they're going toe-to-toe with the New York Yankees, in my opinion, the two most iconic franchises in baseball. And I know there's other ones. The Cardinal fans might give me an eye. The Red Sox fans might give me a stare. I don't care. Those are the two greatest franchises in baseball, in my opinion. And they're rekindling a very rich rivalry. They met in 2024. The Dodgers taking 4 out of 5, outclassing the Yanks. In 81, the year I was born, the Dodgers whipped up on a Yankee team missing Reggie Jackson. That same Reggie Jackson became Mr. October with his 3 home runs off of 3 different Dodger pitchers. And that was a back-to-back scenario when Reggie was the Yankee for 5 short years, but making his mark, getting in Monument Park. This rivalry goes all the way back to the New York, Brooklyn days.
Yes.
Back when the Giants and the Dodgers were both in the National League, playing for the pennant every year to decide more times than not who was going to play the Yankees. That's back when you had Duke Snider, Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle, way before our times, but a golden era for New York baseball. And when the Dodgers and Giants left for the West Coast, as my late father would often say in a playful fashion, the Mets combined colors of 2 distant memories and put them together and became that, which is true, that they did take the Dodgers and the Giants colors. They had the insignia of what the New York Giants, baseball Giants, wore back then. That's why the New York football Giants have their name, because we used to have a New York baseball Giants. Daniel, you guys are the best team in baseball, not just record-wise, but by sample size. You guys are going for the first three-peat since my beloved New York Yankees did it in 98, 99, 2000. You're the first team to go back-to-back since 98, 99. Same Yankees we're speaking on. The previous one to go back-to-back was the Blue Jays, the guys that you beat in 7 epic games. That was one of the best World Series I ever saw in my life. You guys are going with a 6-man rotation. I like it. What are your thoughts? I want to start there. What are your thoughts on this Dodgers 6-man rotation? I like it. I think it's a good way to keep guys healthy.
I think it's a good thing that Roberts has been doing with the pitching rotation. We have Otani, you got Yamamoto. Sheehan is doing his thing. Sasaki has his moments, but I just love the way that our pitching staff is. just not like lights out. Like I was telling Idris before you started that the only way I see this Dodger squad doing messing up is pitching. Our bullpen is pretty damn good from last year. Um, it's gonna take. We would have to have a total collapse of hitting and pitching for us not to make it back for a possible three-peat this year in the MLB this year. I don't see anybody in the National League beating us or even in the American League. I just feel like that the second half will decide where we're going to stand in the playoffs. Um, Otani is dealing with a knee issue, but he's doing his thing with a knee problem, and I just feel like with the free agency coming in, we're just going to bolster up our pitching, and we're going to be ready to win a chance to become the first team since your Yankees did it back in 1998, 2000 as a three-peat champs.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I think when you have a team with so many personalities, a team with so much deep talent, it's not about having the best record, although they do have the best record right now. Last year, it wasn't like that. Last year, it was more like pacing themselves, get to the playoffs, not really worried about seeding, believing that you're the best team, and ultimately it was proven true. When I look at the National League and who could challenge you, it's a short list. It's a very short list. I have to give the Brewers their due because of the fact that for the second straight year, they're a top two team in the National League. Last year, they were the best team record-wise. This year, they're the second best team record-wise. The Central has improved a lot. It's not like, a bunch of tomato cans mixed with the Cubs and Brewers. There's a lot of talent and people that are playing at a high level in that division. In your division, as you like to call them, the Madres, they were funk. They can't hang with you. The San Francisco Giants are a huge disappointment, a team that should start trading pieces. The Rockies, forget it. They're not even worth mentioning. And the Arizona Diamondbacks, I think, have pretty good pitching, but unfortunately not enough offense. They are a well-managed team, the Diamondbacks are. They're competitive, but they're not in that same breath. The West should only send one team, and that's the Dodgers. I think the Padres are going to fall out of it when it all is said and done. Now, the Philadelphia Phillies, former manager of you guys, Don Mattingly, doing a really good job as the interim over there. They're currently in second place in the National League East, but they are gaining steam, although they did lose yesterday, first game out of the break. I do believe that from a roster-based standpoint, from a talent standpoint, and assuming that they could add some more talent, maybe that gentleman that's in L.A. for the other team, he would make a lot of sense there, although he continues to vehemently deny that he's ever going to get traded. I personally think Mike Trout would be the perfect guy to add to the Phillies, but there are other guys that they could add. If the Phillies make the proper add-ons, I do think that they have the talent to hang with the Dodgers. A bit of a dark horse, and this is the third team I'm mentioning and the last team I'm mentioning. They might not even be in the playoffs, but if they get in because of Paul Skeens and because of O'Neal Cruz getting healthier and because they're kind of so young that I think if it plays out the right way, they might be able to match the energy in an early round where they can catch a better team off guard. I'm going to mention the Pittsburgh Pirates as a team that if you have to deal with a Paul Skeens multiple times in the series, that is tough stuff. I'm not saying that just because Paul would be pitching, it guarantees a win, but he gives them some juice and a legitimate chance because Paul Skeens can basically pitch to anyone. He's on that level. Obviously, Otani is having a Cy Young caliber year, but those are my three teams. The only three in the National League that got a chance: the Brewers, the Phillies, and the Pirates.
Yeah, getting back to the Dodgers, like me and Nunes was talking about, I don't see anyone beating them. I was telling him I could see maybe a series whoever they go against may go 4 games to 2, but I said with that, I feel whatever team they play for them to get 2 games, I think the Dodgers will have to come out flat. And just have a bad game where they got caught off guard. And I think the Dodgers will wind up winning 3 games, and someone they might get lucky and be a shootout. But I think the Dodgers put anyone away in 6 games at the most. But I'm looking at 5 games or less. As for the Madres, I like that. I might have to use that. The Madres.
That's Nunez's word. I was just topping that.
I know. I was going to
Yeah,
interrupt.
he called them the Madres a couple of years ago when me and him were in a group chat. I was dying. I get it because Cali has a lot of thick rivalries.
Yeah, he does. I
Mhm.
like that. But like me and him was talking offline. I don't see I don't see them doing anything. They always look like they're ready to make that next step. But nah, Philly. Yeah, I think Philly can compete. Same with them. I don't see the Braves. I see the Braves. They can probably win the division, but I don't think they'll beat Philly, man. As for the Brewers, I think the
I
Brewers are the team.
agree.
I'm picking the
My
Brewers
bad,
to be
Edris.
no. You good? I'm picking the Brewers to be the team to face the Dodgers in the NLCS. But I want them to win because I got a heart for the Brewers. You know, I can't stand the Dodgers, so it's more like hate more than competition. But in the
More hate
end,
than heart.
but yeah, more hate than heart. Yeah, but in the end, and like I said about Skeens with Pittsburgh, I think Skeens in Pittsburgh is young, fast, athletic. So I think
Mm-hmm.
they can catch somebody. Do they got enough
Right.
capacity? Nah. They would have to play Skeens 4 games, and that's not happening. So
The only way it works out perfectly is you would need Skeens to pitch game 1,
Mhm.
game 4,
Yeah.
and you gotta hope for some luck
Yeah, you
as
gotta
well
hope.
because the round that they would probably play in would be a 5-game set because
Yeah.
there's still a lot of time left. But I think the Pirates' way in is they're going to have to do it the hard way, wild card fashion,
We're gonna have
win a 3-game series. You know, it ain't going to be like, oh, they're there because the Brewers, that's their division to lose. They would have to totally go flat. And I don't trust the Cubs. I'll be honest with you. Those are the only 3 teams. But I want to get into focus on this series. Some good pitching matchups, even though, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see the great Shohei Ohtani. It's not like I'm like, oh, darn, we don't get to go against him, but I want the best guys out there. I hate that Judge is injured. I hate that Ohtani's not pitching in this series. He's going to pitch in the Philly series. But personally, I like us tonight.
3 games to the 4 games.
I like us tonight, but I think the Dodgers might still win the series. Tonight it's Garrett Cole on the bump, and Cole is due for a really good outing. And you got to take into consideration that the last time Garrett Cole saw these guys was in the World Series, and one of the most embarrassing plays of his career. And Garrett Cole's a great pitcher, future Hall of Fame. He and Anthony Rizzo, just a big brain fog in the same inning where Aaron Judge, one of the most sure-handed outfielders, made a terrible mistake. It was probably the worst inning in the history of baseball in a World Series. I'm going to keep it a buck. It was that bad.
We were talking about that offline, too. That's the very thing we was talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm glad. That's why do you think I took that extra break outside? I didn't want to have to do all of that. The good thing about being on the podcast is I can at least manipulate how long we got to talk about that. But no, truthfully, I expect the best from Cole tonight because of a lot of that extra on his shoulders.
Right.
In the other corner, Roki Sasaki, a talented pitcher, but a guy who's been up and down. Now, Yankee Stadium offers a couple of problems for a guy like Sasaki being a fly ball pitcher, where you can barely get a hold of one in one of the corners and a couple could sneak out. I'm going to humbly say the Dodgers win this series, but I think the Yankees win tonight. Give me the Yankees by a score of 5-4 tonight. I think Cole is going to pitch a solid 6.2. I think the bullpen's going to make us sweat a little, but I think Bednar closes the door. The game I'm really looking forward to is the final one of this series, Cam Schlittler against Yamamoto. I personally believe that Schlittler will do his job, but I just have a funny feeling that being in the New York, which is just kind of like a cathedral for Japanese players to show out their skills. You have a huge Japanese contingent that love baseball that will follow these players to the Big Apple to see them perform on that stage. And I think Yamamoto is going to be on his game. So I guess the 50-50 game is game 2. Listen, I respect the Dodgers. I know how good they are with the bats. They can really use the Yankee Stadium dimensions to their benefit too. So I think Freddie Freeman has one of them big-ass games in game 2. I think the Yanks win tonight. And unfortunately, although Cam Schlittler will pitch great in game 3, I just don't think it's going to be enough. Give me the Dodgers 2-1 in this series. That's me being humble and unbiased. But how we play against them is actually more important than if we win the series. I think the Yankees need to walk away from this series knowing that they can compete with those guys. And if they walk away feeling that way, that's going to be good momentum moving forward.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I'm going 2-1. I think when Cam gets on the mound, I think we'll have a good game. But I don't think we don't have the bats to go against the Dodgers. I think that's our problem.
You gotta hope that the pitching's like lights out. But I do like Cole tonight. I think Cole's going to have one of them retro games. I think he's going to be
Cole tonight. I like Cole tonight, but yeah, I'm going Dodgers 2-1. I know what Nunez is going to say, but we got.
And I don't like Ryan Weathers in Game 2. I think that's going to be a blowout. And it's nothing against Weathers. It's nothing against Weathers. I just don't think it's his day. I'm all projecting and shit, but I think the Dodgers are going to whip us. Like, it's going to be one of them football-looking scores, Game 2. I think Game 3 is going to be a pitcher's duel that the Dodgers edge out in a great game that's going to feel like a playoff game. And I think tonight, Garrett Cole's going to show why he's still that dude.
Well, let's hear from Mr. Nunez, the guy with the Dodgers shirt on, the one. Yeah, look at him showing up. We need to get him off the show right now, man. Go ahead.
I'm gonna have to. I guess the way I see it is what kind of Roki Sasaki pitcher we're gonna get tonight. I've seen one a couple of games. Roki played an amazing game. He had 10 strikeouts in one game. That's the only thing I'm iffy about Sasaki. Why he got jumped up to the starting pitching lineup. To me personally, I think he's a better reliever than an actual starting pitcher. So I mean, if you get the Garrett Cole that pitches like you guys see, he's good. Then I do give the Yankees their win tonight. But games 2 and 3, yeah, I think the Dodgers are going to win. I think the Yankees win tonight. Depends on how they shut down Ohtani. Yeah, Ohtani might not be pitching, but when he comes off the bat, maybe he's been torching. He's got 22 home runs already. He's been heating up. You got a Mookie Betts that's heating up big time. You got Oscar Hernandez is starting to show signs of coming alive. Tommy Edman coming back from injury has been doing really good.
He's such a versatile player, Edman. Edman is so versatile.
Yes. And we have the bullpen to match with you guys. The only thing that pisses me off is Tanner Scott. This dude, he can have a couple of good games coming off relief, and then he allows, especially against the Diamondbacks. Oh, my God. I was like, dude, you need to sit down. Like, get swept by Arizona. I'm just like, okay.
You know what it is too, Nunez? Similar to the Brewers, I think sometimes these teams, when it gets that close to the break, they're already kind of walking towards vacation. I mean, look what happened to the Brewers against the Pirates. The games were close, but they got swept. It happens, and it's a familiarity too. Now you mentioned Betts and Ohtani; those guys love playing in Yankee Stadium. Ohtani was playing there quite a bit because, of course, being a member of the Angels for most of his career, prior to staying in state but going to the Dodgers. And then you got Betts, who's a former Red Sox. He had his moment with 2 Yankee fans that I don't claim, those 2 idiots. I'm happy that the Yankees banned them. You could have injured the guy. I don't go for that shit. Learn how to act when you come to watch a game, especially a game with those kind of stakes. Now, Nunez was the guy who caught the Gleyber Torres almost home run. He says it wasn't him, but I know better. That was him. Nunez had a fake mustache. I saw it. I had a PI do some investigating. That actually was Nunez. And after much deliberation, I finally concede that was not a home run. But God, I thought it was a home run. But yeah, that was Nunez. I don't care what he says. That was Nunez. And Nunez was also the guy that hit Hulk Hogan in the eyes with the camera. That was not Harvey Whippleman.
Come on now. I had to go low key undercover. You found my undercover.
Yeah, you had to end the Hogan era the right way. He went on that European tour, but that was his last TV match. Yoko wanted to squash him. He's like, I'm not losing to Bret Hart. Why am I making this WWE transition? Because I want to talk about my man Jalen Brunson. Nunez, what you got on Brunson and the WWE? I
like it. I think that it brings more of a flavor to WWE, more of a flavor to open up more of the NBA. You got Halliburton coming out. He came out yesterday with I forgot who the hell he came. Oh, with Trick Williams, I believe, at the Fanatics in New York. They have going on, and he came out with Trick Williams with the stupid white coat and doing his little dance, whatever. I like it. I think Jalen Brunson. I want to see Jalen Brunson and Halliburton get into the ring and I don't like Halliburton. I have a lot of respect for Jalen Brunson. Like I said, I have a lot of respect for the Knicks after how they won the
Oh, if you
NBA
don't like
championship.
them, I got a lot to say too, and
Uh,
I'm going to hold your thoughts for a second on Mr.
you know,
Halliburton.
I like Jalen Brunson. I think I've been a basketball fan for years with Lakers, but to see the teamwork they when they were down by I think 29 points, I believe, Rich, when they came back and won that game with Adebayo who hit the tip in.
I don't
I
know
looked at
what
this
I
and
don't
I'm
know. I
like,
know what you meant.
yeah, I'm like, you're getting your asses whooped by 29 points. I have never seen a comeback since the Celtics came back against the Lakers in the NBA Finals when they were down by 24, and they came back and beat the Lakers, I believe, by 10. But to come back and just grind and grind and grind, I'm just like, oh damn. So to go back to Brunson coming this Saturday, I think we're going to see Halliburton come out, start his mumble jumble his mouth, and I think we're going to have a SummerSlam match at SummerSlam between Halliburton and Jalen Brunson. Roman Reigns in the corner of Roman Reigns will be probably in the corner of Jalen Brunson because he's got a big match coming up against Seth at the pay per view.
Yep.
It's fun.
Yep.
To me. It's fun. It's fun to look at. I think it's just like I said. It brings two mega sports coming together, and why not? I mean, you're in Madison Square Garden, the home of the NBA champs, the
And not to
home New
mention the
York.
home
You
of
know,
the WWE's hotbed, going back to the old school senior McMahon, Mario Ruiz. I want to hit on his comment. It was a legendary thing at once with the big dog, Mr. George, not with his weak son Hal, no guts Hal. I agree partially. I believe that George would have fired Aaron Boone, and I'm not coming here to indict Aaron Boone. I think he's actually doing a better year this year than he has in previous years. It's just about results, though. Like, I know Dave Roberts, prior to the Dodgers getting it done, he was like kind of in the Aaron Boone situation where they were like, yo, we're always good and we're always in the playoffs, but we're not winning it all. Or even with Don Mattingly, the guy before him who ultimately did part with the Dodgers. So I understand. I'm not saying it's all Boone's fault, but I personally believe that it's a culture thing all the way down. I like Brian Cashman. However, I think that there's been too much complacency at the top, to Mario's point, that I don't believe you would have seen if Big Daddy George was in there. And listen, George wasn't always right, but he would not tolerate this kind of a drought. That much I could tell you. Now, I'm sure the Indiana Pacers are going to be holding their breath as Halliburton gets in the ring, or assuming he gets in the ring. These are superior athletes. These are smart guys. Everything will be okay. I mean, not trying to be funny, but if it was Cam Scatterbo, I'd be more worried because Cam wants all the contact. But no, it should be fun. And I like how the two sports come together. And yes, I do consider wrestling not just an art, not just acting. It's also a sport because people really do get hurt. Predetermined conclusions to the matches, but they are some of the best athletes in the world. So, yeah, looking forward to it. I thought it was pretty cool to see Jalen Brunson and Rhea Ripley. A mutual respect there as Brunson autographed a chair that Ripley had. It's always cool to see great athletes admiring one another, as they're a small portion of the population in the grand scheme of things. All right, Idris, I want to hit one on you here. Your cousin Aaron Moorhead, employed with the Philadelphia Eagles, one of the premier wide receiver coaches in professional football. He, of course, loses a very dynamic player in his room in A.J. Brown. They replace him with Mekhi Lemon at USC, a really good pickup for the Philadelphia Eagles. How do you feel the offense fluidity is going to go? Now you got a rookie in there. You got a veteran, Devontae Smith. You have an often injured Dallas Goedert, but he's going to be catching more footballs now. And you got Saquon Barkley, who my logic tells me he's going to have a bounce back year statistically. Not like 2 years ago, because that was just once in a lifetime kind of stuff. But I think he's going to have a great season, Saquon is, for the fantasy heads. What are your thoughts on this Eagles offense? And do you think they're going to be all right? Or do you think the constant door of many coordinators is going to stall out for Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni, and co., your cousin included?
Nah, to be honest with you, I think they won't lose a beat, considering A.J. Brown, great as he was, he's a headache. And now you got a young guy coming in coming into it. I'm still gonna call the Eagles a championship team. They didn't win it this year, but they're still
They
championship
got the
caliber.
roster. They still got the roster.
Yeah, it's still championship caliber. So now you got a young guy coming in, taking that spot. He's not the main guy, so he don't have that pressure on him. And being around Hurts and the whole squad, I mean, the team is used to adversity. I mean, they change coordinators every so often. So adversity is not even an issue with them. I think they'll be fine. I think he'll jump right in there. He'll learn the game, get around the vets, and it might be learning things early on, the first couple of games, just for the kid to get used to being in the league and actually getting punched in the mouth by some grown men. But nah, I think they'll be all right. I think they'll pick up where they left off.
As much as I don't like his attitude, and I'm sure if he was the coach of my team, I would feel differently. But I don't care for Nick Sirianni. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that he's not a hell of a coach, because I'd be lying.
I like his attitude. It's F the Eagles all day, but I like Sirianni.
But it's one of those things, it's just one of those things where there's some value to him, because I do think that he takes away headlines from his players, which is kind of a good thing. But at the same time, sometimes it's too much bulletin board shit on Sirianni's part that I think, he could probably. I mean, dude, hello, Bill Parcells coached our team, so I get what it looks like when you love a coach.
Look, you know why I like Sirianni? Because Sirianni, y'all forget my language, because Sirianni don't give a fuck. It's my team. If you don't like the way I'm running my team, you can go across the turnpike and root for the Giants. He's like, let's do it. Because remember the year they ready to get rid of him, that Super Bowl year.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
he's like,
Philly is a very impatient place in the front office, because Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl and he was out.
I love that.
And Sirianni, and after losing the Super Bowl in heartbreaking fashion, they had that off year.
Yeah.
And then they regrouped, and then they ended up getting back and winning their second overall Super Bowl. But the point is, Philly has been very impatient. Sometimes I wish the Yankees front office was as impatient as the Eagles front office. But I agree for the most part. I think Lemon is going to be really good out of this rookie class.
Me too.
They always have a good offensive line, so I'm not going to question them there. What I want to see is the defense going to still be as dominant, or are there going to be a couple of holes? I'm going to go with the latter. I think that there's going to be a couple of things that could be exploited. But, this is a team that I still view them, worst case scenario, as a 10-win team. I think they'll do better than that. I got the Eagles winning either 11 or 12 games, one or the other. And although I don't like picking anybody a little too often or a little too early, we haven't done our preview yet, but this is just my way too early. I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the East. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be a pretty strong wild card. And I think the New York Football Giants are going to be playing for an opportunity to be the final wild card, an opportunity. The Giants might barely miss. With the Giants this year, I'm looking for improvement, which I think Coach Harbaugh is going to give us. I'm looking for accountability. I'm looking for getting back to Giants pride. I think he's going to provide all that this year. And I'm looking for Jackson Dart to make a significant jump, as I think last year he had a really good year, but it's important to keep him out of the blue tent. Philly and the Giants split this year, in my genuine opinion. I think the Cowboys, unfortunately, will sweep the Giants, and I think the Giants will sweep the Commanders. I got the Giants going 3-3 in the East, and I got the Commanders going 0-6 in the East. I think the Eagles. The Eagles and the Cowboys are going to fight for the division. Eagles are trying to make it 3 in a row after 20 plus years of nobody having a back-to-back, but I do think the Giants' day is coming. I don't think it's far. And I might be selling the Giants a little short. That's me being humble. But I think the Giants are looking anywhere between 8 and 10 wins, 10 being the best-case scenario, 8 being the worst case, possibly 7 being the worst case. But I'm looking for improvement this year, because you got to remember, when you're learning how to win, you're going to beat some teams. You'll be like, yeah, like if we beat the Eagles. But then you might go turn around and lose to somebody like the Titans or the Colts. Not that the Colts are a bad team.
The Jets. Play the Jets. You're going to be bad.
Yeah. We don't play them this year, but you get what I'm saying. Part of learning how to win is that sometimes you're going to lose to teams you should beat, and you're going to beat teams that are like a feel-good win. Like last year when we rocked the Eagles in the first game, that was a feel-good win. Pissing in Saquon's Cheerios right before Amazon Prime. Love that shit. Yeah. And then, unfortunately, Cam Scatterbo had that horrific injury. Darius Slayton was holding hands like Kevin Arnold and Winnie Cooper. But, they didn't count it. It wasn't our day. It wasn't our day in Game 2. Let's just say that. It wasn't our day.
Before we pass it to Nunez.
Oh, my God.
About this. God. Yeah, before we pass it to Nunez. Two of my favorite people in this league have dealt with rivals, like Nick Sirianni. I like him. I hate Philly, but I like him.
I'm glad somebody does.
And you know who my other person is, right? Jerry Jones. I love me some Jerry Jones. I'm gonna tell you.
So what about your cousin? You're like, whatever.
He's family, so he don't count.
Okay.
He should know with the Philly in the first place. His father
I share your sentiments there too. His dad was drafted by the Giants after all. Mr. Nunez, what's your rebuttal for our way too early East outlook?
Hold on, Richie. Nunez made that funny.
He's like, wait.
Let me explain to why I said like this. You should like him too. Jerry Jones literally sabotages the team so we can do our thing. Also,
well, that's what I like about picking them. I might be sabotaging and putting the kibosh on them, so I'm okay with that too.
And also with Jerry Jones, he admitted last year, I like being in the spotlight. When things get slow, I stir shit up. You can't hate a dude that admits that. Look, I don't care about winning. I want the spotlight. I can't hate Jerry Jones. Now I hate the Cowboys, but I like Jerry because if it wasn't for him, the Cowboys would be winning Super Bowls and we'd be mad. He keeps the Cowboys on ice.
Well, the reality is I don't trust Shoddy like the way I trust Sirianni or Harbaugh. And maybe I'm selling the Cowboys too high, but I'll roll with it for now. Because I don't want to pick the Eagles just because I hate them. And I like to pick the Cowboys because I think I'm setting up a precedent for a letdown. Maybe with all this kibosh, maybe the Giants surprise everybody. But the Giants are not far. I will say that. And the 49ers could miss the playoffs this year because of how many miles they got. And that could open the door for the Giants being one of the back-end wild cards. And there's a couple other teams you got to account for too, but I like the Giants roster right now. And I'm really hype about Odell coming back. I'm going to be in the building in week 1 after we cut that bum Jalen Hyatt. Odell gets his number back against the Dallas Cowboys. Bro, I'm telling you right now, if Odell recreates that freaking ridiculous catch, bro, I might not make it out of Jersey. You might see me on the field.
All right, after you were talking so much crap about my team, Rich. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I'm very skeptical about my team this year. I'm gonna be. Let me just break it down real quick. I like this kid Makai Lemon, but I don't know, man. I mean, first off, he comes from SC, which I can't stand the Trojans. Me and Rich are Notre Dame fans. We're the Irish. I don't know. Losing some piece. I mean, losing Blankenship last year to this year, they're going to move Cooper DeJean to safety. It just, I don't know. It's just like
Remember what I said, Nunez, about some of the questionable holes? That's what I'm getting at because it takes time for a defense because it's the talent's there. That's not the question, but it takes time to gel. So there could be some growing pains, to your point.
And that's where I see it right there, Rich. I see it right there. I see where the main part is going to be the safety position, because Cooper DeJean doesn't play safety, But we got Tariq Woolen from Seattle.
That's a good one.
I mean, and I like the pick of Grenard from Minnesota. So to say about Saquon Barkley, I think he's going to have about a 1,500-1,600 yard season this year. I don't see a 2,000 yard season. I do see 1,600. The guy you're going to have to watch out for because Goddard gets hurt is a tight end they just drafted from South Dakota.
Yes, sir.
That kid can play. And now Hurts which I have not seen since he's been an Eagle for going in his 7th year. This man, you look at, is smiling now. He's like loose. He's like, and the last time you had a dangerous Jalen, you might see the man start running the ball football again.
I've been hypercritical. I've been hypercritical of Jalen, but at the same time, I also take into consideration that the constant, runarounds of new OCs does affect the operation. And then on the other end of it, I have a feeling that when you have a guy like A.J. Brown who constantly demands the football, and even if you're winning, is going on socials and acting like things are bad, not everybody is a team guy, so to speak.
Right.
I'll give you a crossover example. Ricky Henderson, one of the greatest players in the history of baseball, rest in peace. Former Yankee, former Dodger, former Met, former a lot of things, former Oakland 3 times over. He played with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Greatest leadoff hitter of all time, no question about it. But in terms of what he cared about his stats or the way that he acted when he broke Lou Brock's record, the point I'm making is that A.J. Brown is a me-first dude in a lot of ways. I think Vrabel will be able to hone him in because they have a good history together. I think Drake May gets a nice toy. But I think it was time for you guys to move on. I'm obviously not in the facility. I don't know what Aaron deals with there. But I imagine for any receiving coach, it's got to be like certain guys you got to give a little more rope to, certain guys you got to scream on, certain guys you got to coddle. And, of course, that's an extension of Nick. As Aaron said when he was a guest of our show, they speak the same language because Nick was a very accomplished wide receiver coach before he took over for your organization when Howie Roseman made that actually very good hire. Howie Roseman, like him or not, hell of a front office man. We already know this.
Yeah, I think that I love Nick Sirianni. I think he brings us that image, and nobody likes him because they think he's a cocky son of what. But it's okay though because we have to have in Philadelphia. You have to have some type of guts and
I
brawn.
get it. The Northeast in general, that's part of it. Yeah, I get it.
But like I said, the games that I'm looking forward to are against you, of course, against your Giants. Definitely against the Dallas Cow Chickens. I cannot stand the Cowboys, and I'm not worried about the Commanders because that's a team that's on that can worry about the next season because they just I don't know what's up with them.
That's the exhibition.
I want yeah, and I want the Bears. I want third week. I circled my calendar. I want revenge from the last game that happened. I want to see.
Is that in Soldier or is that in the link?
I believe it's a Soldier. I believe. I got to check it, but I think it's a Soldier. And I like the OC we have, Mannion. He used to be he was in Green Bay. So it's an exciting year. I'm a little skeptical, but it's like they say, it might look good on paper, but you got to play the game on that field. Same thing.
Absolutely.
I'm happy OBJ.
Preseason.
And to talk about OBJ, I'm glad he's back with you guys. I think that's the best thing the Giants that they did. I think to reunite, and hopefully I'll be watching that game, guys. I'm gonna be rooting for you guys because, like I said, I don't care if they're the Carolina Panthers. I do not. I will go for any team that goes for Dallas, and I think Philadelphia wins the NFC East by 1 or 2 games. Dallas is gonna. Caleb Downs is a hell of a player, but there's a reason why he got drafted at that high number. And that's why I keep telling these Dallas Cowboys fans. There's a reason why he could have got off the top 10. He could have got drafted within the top 10, but he just kept going down. There's reasons why. I ain't worried about Dallas as long as you have Dak as your quarterback. Yeah, he might be the man that runs the NFC East or whatever. But when it comes to mediocre teams, he's trash.
You know what it is, bro? You know what it is with the Downs thing? It's like a lot of Giant fans were pissed off because they wanted to combine Arvell Reese and Downs because they had the playing time with the Buckeyes. But the reason why I support drafting CC as opposed to Downs is because when you have a quarterback that even though Harbaugh is going to try to keep him in the pocket a little more, a guy that takes off a lot, a guy that's initiating contact, a guy that plays the game that physically, you got to make sure that you got the right cornerstone opposite of perennial all-pro offensive lineman Andrew Thomas. As long as Thomas is healthy, he's Pro Bowl ready all the time. We want to match that on the other side so that way we can run the rock because the Giants are trying to get back to their culture. So I'm okay with the move. The other reason, to your point, why he went down, 2 reasons. He did have that knee scope and also team needs. Unless if you're like, believe it or not, that's what makes it funny. Harbaugh, oddly enough, didn't draft the safety, but he likes to build around safeties. But taking into consideration, they already signed Tremaine Edmonds, who's a tweener of a linebacker and a safety. You bring back Jason Pinnock, who's a guy that was a ball hawk, always near the football. I love that pickup. He knows our language. He knows our culture. And I love Arvell Reese because you could put this man anywhere. You could put him on the edge. You could put him in the middle. You could drop him in coverage. You could spy out a quarterback with this kid. He's going to be so beneficial for Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, Brian Burns. I think Kayvon's going to play a lot better because this is a contract year. I don't think they're going to keep Kayvon after this year, but I think it's going to help him get to his next team.
No, I agree with you on that one totally 100%. Like I said, I'm looking. I agree with everything that you have said. Just the only thing that I don't think Dallas is going to win the division. I think it's going to be a battle between the Giants and excuse me, the Cowboys. I don't think the Cowboys are going to win the division. I just think it's going to be a battle between you guys. I do think you guys are going to win 10 games though this year. That's my prediction. But we all know how I make predictions, and none of them mostly come true. So yeah, so
You know what's interesting, Nunez? Our final game of the season is actually against the Philadelphia Eagles. So what's interesting is that, let's say hypothetically, if you're the one that's correct and your Eagles do have that kind of season where they're a couple of games up, that's a game where the Giants potentially are playing against your second and third teamers but at the same time, it's a rivalry. So you know damn well that the Eagles don't want to do us any favors. I'm not saying that they're going to alter their playoff plans to keep us out of the playoffs, but what I'm saying is, like, these are all things that you account for. But I did look over the best case scenario for my team, and I did have win 10 being that final game of the year. I also went on record in saying that this could be the year that the Giants finally win in Philly. They haven't done that shit since 2013. But however it shakes up and plays out, I got them splitting. We'll find out. The only way I think the Giants get the ultimate sweep, not the only way, but a more probable way if the Giants sweep the Eagles is if the Giants win the first game and the Eagles don't need the second game. But that could be said about any division rivalry of a division leader versus a wild card hopeful. That's the way it goes sometimes. I don't care, like I said, maybe we get swept by Dallas. I don't care about that. If we play them the third time, that's the one I want to know about. Ask the 07 Giants about that. You think they're worried about getting swept by the Cowboys when they rocked them when it mattered? But Idris, what you got? What you got for the way too early NFC East tidbits?
It's going to be a battle, man. I think we all have gotten better. As for Washington, we all might sweep them this year. They might get lucky. Hey, what's up, Miss E? They might get
anybody
lucky.
Could win a game, but
they might get lucky.
They don't match up good with Philly, and they don't match up good with us. I can tell you that right now.
So they might get lucky, like towards the end of the season when, like, one of the teams might have the division locked up, and you say I'm gonna rest some players, or they might get lucky early in the season and catch one of us sleeping. But
for sure,
they're going back to the basement. They're taking our place. They're going back to the basement. But at the division, I think in the end it'll be Dallas, and I think us and Philly will fight it out. But who knows?
We may all three end up there, because I know Shed, who's super honest about his 49ers, he doesn't question the 49ers' talent, but he does feel that because of all the miles and an aging team, they might be like that team that's on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Because the way I broke down the NFC, and once again, way too early, I got the Saints winning the South, I got the Cowboys winning the East, I got the Rams winning the West, and I got might be a little bit of a curveball. I got the Vikings winning the North. And where my three wild cards are, I got two of them potentially coming out of the East, the Eagles and the G-Men, where that would only leave one final spot. And that final spot's going to be the world champions defending Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, and I
think
agree
the Packers are missing the playoffs possibly. I think the Bears are going to have a friggin' shit moment this year.
I think they're going to miss it this year. I think I'm with Nunez too. On paper, everyone looks good. But when you get on the field, it's a whole different game. So we'll see. But
the Bears aren't surprising anybody this year is what I'm trying to say. You got to see what Lions team's going to show up. Are they going to take a step forward, or are they going to look like a team that missed their window? I'm not sure. They broke up Sonic and Knuckles, and I don't like that.
I think they take a step back, man. And I think that'll open up a spot for two of our teams to get in, perhaps. It depends on what the West does, because the West are going to be beating their asses all season. So
yeah, that's the big thing, because if the 49ers hang, because the 49ers have proven time and time again they got guts. Because the 49ers went into Philly all banged up. They found a way to win. Over the years, they made the NFC title game that year when Debo was like got a million miles on him in that postseason before they had CMC. The only knock on the 49ers is that Shanahan always clams up in Super Bowls, whether as an assistant or as a head coach. But the talent has always been there for the Niners, but they're getting old. So I kind of put them on that bubble. I put the Giants on the bubble. It's been a hot minute since we got in the playoffs. We don't know. Green Bay is a bit of a wild card to me. Matt LaFleur, in my opinion, did enough bad stuff in that game against Chicago to get fired. He didn't get fired, but he should have. And I like him as a head coach.
Yeah, but let me let everybody know about Dallas. I think they'll be better, but I still don't like them. Okay, I'm not. I wish they would finish last.
I don't have Dallas getting out of round 2, even if they win the East. I'm going on record and saying that right now. Now, of course, this is just a preview of the preview. We're just shooting the shit right here, loosely and calmly, and having fun with it.
Dude, they're not supposed to get out of the second round. They are a 90s team, okay?
No doubt.
And they're going to live in the 90s for this year. We 30 years, y'all. 30 years.
Pac and Biggie were alive last time those dudes won. And that was the first year that the yellow line was introduced via Fox Sports. John Madden's first year, rest in peace, Mr. Madden. John Madden's first year for Fox Sports, where he put them on the map after he made it famous with CBS alongside another legend, Pat Summerall. Those were the days, man. Those two together in the booth was just pure love.
Football is great when the Cowboys look bad. Because we're all happy whether we win or lose. We're like, it was a great season.
Didn't the Houston Rockets win the NBA
championship? Be sure to
championship?
share this in the NFC Beast, by the way. Go ahead, Nunez.
Oh,
Didn't the Houston Rockets win the NBA title in 1996, back-to-back, when they won in 95 and 96?
It was actually 94 and 95, but if you want to just erase 94.
But the Bulls came back. But the Bulls won in 96, when Jordan came back on.
That 72 and 10 year. We could erase 94 if you want to. I mean, I think the Knicks did a good job of that just now, but bro, 94, don't get me started. Don't get me started.
I'm saying I thought it was 96.
I'm saying
my bad.
Pat Riley, you belong in Miami. I don't claim you as the Knicks. You ain't getting no stupid statue like they gave you in LA. Not that the statue was stupid, he earned it, but you know what I'm saying. Bro, Pat Riley sabotaged the Knicks in Game 7 because he refused to put in Rolando Blackman over some nonsense about plane tickets that they were pissing on each other about. I am so aggravated about that.
At the end of the day, we're going to say acknowledge.
Indeed.
I can't wait for football season to start, though, man. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be I think in the AFC, I think the Raiders are the team to look at. I don't care what anybody says. I know people will get the B, whatever. I think they are a wild card team next year.
Really? You're on the Raiders? I don't agree with you, but I do think that Fernando Mendoza is going to be a damn good leader, and I believe in that kid. I will say that.
Yeah, and I think they reshaped their defense. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like we said. You got to win the games, and teams that you don't expect to win are going to win. I think the Chiefs. The team, Denver. Bo Nix is going to come back. He's going to do his thing in Denver. Chargers might look like a team coming back, but I don't know. Just something about this Raider team. I mean, I don't know. They might shake. I mean, because you're going to have who's the starting quarterback right now for the Raiders? The old guy. What's his name?
Kirk Cousins.
He played for Atlanta. Yeah, he might get the starting job for maybe a few games, but I don't think he's going to be the main quarterback going all the way through the season. I think you will see Mendoza probably in the 5th or 6th week. That's what I think. I think
the Raiders, if they played in a different division, I'd feel a little better about them. But you got to play KC, Denver, and the Chargers twice. Now, the Chargers are an interesting one. You got a Charger team that they have all the talent in place, but what has killed them the last couple of seasons is you need Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt to both be healthy opposite of each other. Because it changes the dynamic of what they're able to do. Now, I think the Denver Broncos are supposed to win this division. I think the Denver Broncos have a legendary coach in Sean Payton, like him or not. He's a legendary coach. And, of course, you got Andy Reid with KC, an aging KC team. I think KC gets in the playoffs, but they don't do much after that. I just don't think they have what they need to have, but you never know. Kenneth Walker might be able to transform them back into a more balanced offense. And I've always had a lot of love and respect and faith in what Steve Spagnuolo could get a defense to do. He proved it with your team, my team, and with the Chiefs.
Yes, I think going back to also about Philly, they got Hollywood Brown. Now the thing is about him.
That's
If he
right.
can
I forgot about that.
yes, if he now here's the thing: if he stays healthy, if he can stay healthy, because that man he's injury prone, dude. But if he can stay healthy with Philly and the speed that he has, and you line him up with Devontae Smith, and then you line him with Makai Lemon, we have our receiving core right there.
Excuse me 1 second, gentlemen. Keep going, Nunez.
Go ahead, Nunez.
I think that with the way that it will give Jalen Hurts more of an opportunity to get the ball downfield, but also too like he had a lot of I don't know what it is about Hurts. He doesn't read it right. But like this year, I just see Jalen look more comfortable and more like, we got rid of the diva, which is AJ Brown. That's you got to get rid of the cancer that's just like not making it work for your squad. So, they were playing off, he's still an Eagle. But once they got rid of him, I was like, all right, now let's get back to Eagle football the way it's supposed to be. You got Devontae Smith, you got this kid Makai Lemon, you got Hollywood Brown, you got your running core in the back when your Tank Bigsby still there, the running back behind Saquon. We have our tight ends, we have our offensive line is still, our defensive line is still good, but let's just run it. Let's just see how we do with our new the seventh OC that Jalen Hurts is gonna have. Every year he has a new OC. Nobody wants to
Brett
stay.
Favre. Brett Favre suffered that when he was winning MVPs and all that. Because the thing is, with consistent success comes promotions for a lot of coaches. And ultimately, that's a big reason. I think it's a blessing that the Eagles have been able to hold on to Aaron Moorhead. I consider him literally the premier.
You there?
Hello?
I think he froze up. Well, let's keep
Yeah,
talking.
he did.
Yeah, let's keep
But
talking.
yeah, I think I just think hello?
Look, okay.
I just think I might be wrong, but I just think that like you guys, the Giants, you guys got Jim Harbaugh, which was I think was like an amazing signing for you guys as a head coach because I like Harbaugh. I like him better than his brother, the one in the Chargers.
Yeah.
He's a Super Bowl winning coach with the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
So I see him, doing some good things for you guys, and I'm just being real. Like I don't like your team either, but if we're talking sports, if we're talking being real, hey, I'm gonna give you guys the kudos that you guys deserve because I think the Eagles Giants when they play, it's like a rock'em sock'em robot match, man. It's like you have two of the Bohemian, like what happened to just going at it. It's like a heavyweight fight. Who's gonna get knocked down? I mean, you kicked our butts in the first game, but then we came back and slapped the crap out of you guys the second game. So
the thing I like about this now with the Eagles and Giants is that by finally getting one in the win column. Do you hear me, Nunez?
Yeah.
By getting one in the win column. By getting one in the win column against the Eagles last year, I think it kind of erases some of that self-doubt or almost like a trauma with the New York Giants, historically not having success against this team pretty much since the departure of Burris, Tiki, and Shockey, because those were three Eagle killers. Because Eli Manning did a lot of great things for our organization. But one thing that Eli Manning never did well was consistently beat the Philadelphia Eagles. That was one team that he legitimately struggled against, where he had the number of the Cowboys, had the number of
Redskins.
Correct. So that's kind of how I view it. Nunez has the frozen Zappy face. That used to always happen to Zappy when he first started with the.
But check this out. I got a picture of Jameis Winston. I need y'all to look at. Check it out.
Let's check it.
Hold up. Let me explain this photo. me show you this photo. It reminds me of Jameis Winston with the crab legs.
No, you know what happened? I got to tell you something funny. What happened was I had my laptop plugged in, but apparently the outlet I had it in was never charging it. So it went right away. But that's why I always got the phone on deck. So I said, all right, good. Very good. And I just switched over to the beats because we're wrapping up anyway. But you're a funny guy, Idris. You're a funny guy.
Like that, I was looking. I seen that expression. I was like, Jameis Winston. I said, I can make it a screenshot before he take it down.
He's like, ooh, that looks good. What?
Man, Publix got these cheap today. All right. Any final thoughts, Idris, before we get out of here? And then I'm gonna pass Nunez a final thought as well.
Nah. Go ahead.
Nunez.
It was good, man. Thank you again, Rich, for having me on the show. I know it's been a minute. Good luck to your Yankees this weekend.
Thank you.
Good seeing you, Idris. I'm glad you're doing good, man. And everybody, stay humble, stay blessed. That's all I gotta say during the tough times we're going through right now. And let's everybody finish the week strong. And don't forget Saturday night. Watch Saturday night's main event. Jalen Brunson's gonna be at Madison Square Garden.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it a point to make sure that I record that. I'm actually gonna be working at my less fun job during that telecast, but I'll make sure that I watch it on replay. All right, let's do the shout outs. Check out our friends Casual Convo show every Monday and Wednesday, 8 to 10 p.m. Big Bosco Productions, which you can see on Idris's icon there. You can check out his music on any and all streaming devices. Check out our friends at the Basement Show, Johnny Nast and Co. doing big things over there. Also make it a point to check out the Make It Count podcast. Our guy, Sneaky G, big Giants fan out in Texas.
Get this guy out of here. Let's get this guy out of here.
For Daniel Nunez and for Idris Salam, I am Richie. If you haven't already, make it a point to like and subscribe to the channel, Richie X Jr. Sports Podcast on YouTube. Let's go, Yanks. Enjoy the weekend festivities. Great series. A lot of star power, even without the captain, Aaron Judge, or Giancarlo Stanton. Still a lot of star power.
Showtime.
And truthfully, when those two teams get together, it's always like putting more pages in the book. Dodgers and Yankees are timeless. Should be a pretty good series. And like I said, I want to walk away from this just knowing that the Yankees did their best. One last thing. I know that we're still live.
We got to cover his profile picture up some kind of way. I don't know how we could do that.
Idris, you still with me here? You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm here.
We're about to end this live, but before I forget, it's always Knicks in 5.
Exactly.
We out.
Big energy, we ain't playing nice. Kings of New York, ain't no rolling dice. Flexing on these bitches, we the real deal. Ain't no stopping us, this is how we feel. The Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, the island of Queens, we ballin' hard. Fulfilling all our dreams, thugging through the hustle. Got that grit and grind in this big Nick energy, we forever shine. So let them know we rockin'. From the garden to the booth, Knicks in the building, bringing straight up truth. With our heads held high, watch us rise and transcend. Big Nick energy, this is just the beginning.